Here I'm working in Microsoft Word, and I'm going to need to recreate a table. This table was created, it looks like, as a Excel file and imported here. We can tell that when we click on it, it's one block and it won't allow us to do much formatting at all there. So we'll simply delete it and start over. First, we'll get this section into a landscape mode to make the table large enough so that the reader can actually tell what the text inside the table is saying. I've created page and section breaks before and after this page, which allows me to then go up to File in the menu bar down to Page Setup, and we'll select this landscape mode. And back to the menu bar, we can click on Table, Insert, Table, and we'll choose let's see, 5 columns is exactly what we want, and it should be 20 rows, I count there. Now, to make this in strict APA compliance, we'll simply highlight the entire table, go up to the menu bar to Format, Borders and Shading, and to Borders, we'll simply click off these vertical lines. And the program allows us to still see a faint vertical line just for our own use, but when printed, that line will not show up. So let's make sure we've got this within the margins. We'll go to the page view here. Okay, and it's looking as if, yes, it'll fit in the margins. We'll go back to a larger view. We'll want to, looks like I have, unfortunately, got a italic format in there, which will transfer over if I don't take it out. But we will want all of the column headings aligned in the center. So now to get on with recreating, we'll need to get in here closer to see what this actually says. I'll zoom in to 200 or so. It looks like some of these are simply, there's a whole lot of space here just used up in sort of repetitive text. We'll be able to save ourselves quite a bit of space by moving this margin over, and instead of writing out the word question, we can simply call it RQ for research question, and then put in the numbers instead. Now, I'm noticing that this author has arranged their questions a little differently. They want to say these are the demographic questions and these are the work, sort of a different, the actual content questions of interest, more for the research questions, the overall research question. So what we can do to accommodate this is make this next row, the second column, I should say, will highlight, cut, and paste that. And let's go into this column and center it. And since questions 1 through 6 are to be the demographic questions, we'll simply do a right-click, merge cells, and we can then simply label this the demographics. Now, this may not be accepted by some as exactly in APA format, but I've typically found that it's accepted by most and substantially saves in space, keeping the table in one page for easier viewing. So, that said, I'm going up to Format and on the menu bar and Text Direction. I'm going to put the text sideways in here to save on space. Oh, we want that in lowercase. Similarly, it looks like questions 7 through 16, we would do the same thing in this next section to accommodate those. These questions would need to be formatted with the left justification, and the bold would need to be taken out. And similarly, here for this question, instead of using the majority of the space needed in this table, simply taking up space answering 3 research questions, we would simply label them RQ1, RQ2, and RQ3, leaving us the ability to have much more narrow columns with the X's, of course, fitting neatly into those columns without taking up this much space. These questions, of course, are noted elsewhere in the text, so that would be an acceptable way to arrange the table. If they were not, if this were detailed information that needed to be kind of spelled out for the reader within the table. It could be abbreviated and then explained down below in a note under the table, or it could be, we could also use the sideways text up in the column headings.